Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to another video. As you all know, it's not the usual setup. So, if I'm here face to face, there's something that's uh, been bothering, or that's something, or any sort of update that I want to kind of give it to you all, right? So, yes, as you would have seen in the title, I was almost deported from Hong Kong. It's been a traumatizing, journey during that time. And I do see a lot of things happening around the internet right now with the South Korean Jeju Island and all that cases. And I think this is happening with a lot of people. And what's happening is that it's not coming outside, right? So I think I just thought of bringing that awareness with most of you all here. So yeah, I've applied for the PAR, whatever you call it, before going to Hong Kong, and the vlog is gonna come up soon, guys. So that's on the way as well. So this is something which I have experienced, not directly from India. I did not travel directly from India. There were a lot of cases that if you travel from India, they ask you a lot of questions from, the within India, and when you go to Hong Kong as well, right? So I did not go through that road. So I was traveling from Philippines to Hong Kong. So no questions asked in the Philippines. They were pretty cool. Um, it was a smooth immigration in Philippines, but I know if you are traveling from within India, they ask you a lot of questions. They also compare your names, the way how it is written in your passport, and also in your the PAR form that you have been filling or that you have filled, right? So that's something which you got to be very careful. So even if there's a slightest of, you know, mismatch in your PAR form and your passport details, they're gonna stop you guys. You cannot enter. At that point, you still can get your phone or your laptop up and then get a new PAR. At the same time, how is that even possible? Most of the time you don't even get the chance to even upload your documents, and you may not have your Wi-Fi data. It can be a hassle, guys. So, and plus it's not that's not the only thing. The flight can also leave in some time, right? Because you get to know this at the time of checking, or checking in, or giving your luggage. That's the time where they check, and not in the immigration, right? When I say immigration, not the immigration in Hong Kong. It's before that itself. So this is something that I thought I'll kind of share with you my experience when I've got down in Hong Kong. So first, when I got on, I was like, oh wow, this is an amazing place, because I had high hopes, because it's a part of China, right? Or how it is, right, in the past. So I was actually kind of keen to explore the spot, and as a non Chinese Mandarin, or what other language they speak, we are not that fluent, right? So as soon as you land, you'll find a lot. I mean, you have a metro, and then it kind of takes you to new places, and it's a little bit difficult for us to kind of have those names memorized. So anyways, like, I already have been traveling to a lot of countries, and a lot of places. And in one of my previous video, I've also said, like, dress yourself well, so that you don't get much questions asked in the immigration, right? So this point, I feel like that's of no use. I'll come back to that in shortly. So I was well dressed, all well landed, and I went next to the immigration counter. I see a lot of people, lined up, and they're just smoothly going. All the whites, all the Western people. So no questions asked. All were chilling, just walking around. They were having a laugh and all that. So they saw me, and then I just started greeting them, right? As always, like, I try to build that rapport in a good gesture, right? And all went well, and I just gave my passport. Oh my gosh, that's it. So they saw my Indian passport, and I'm like, they kept checking the pages, right? Like, it's like I don't know, it was more like a notebook. They were just wanted to kind of find something in that, and they kept checking like multiple times. And I've been standing in the queue for like, what, 5 minutes, I guess, and that people are lined up behind me and all over the place as well, right? So everything was fine. As soon as I gave my passport, that's where the whole thing started, right? And I'm just wondering, like, am I just gonna get deported, or am I just gonna get detained there, right? So you never know what's gonna happen, right? So yeah, as soon as that's the 5 minute was more like a half an hour for me at that point in time. And then a lot of questions asked, like, where you coming from, why you traveling. I'm like, you can't ask me that question. Why am I traveling? Not in Hong Kong. That's a good question that they can ask. Like, why am I traveling in Hong Kong? I'm okay to say that, but they're asking me generally, why am I traveling? So I just said, leisure. I love traveling and I love making content, and most of all, I love meeting people, right? So I don't know. It did not convince that person, I guess. I am not sure. So after 5 minutes, and then I see, someone else coming in, and then there's some sort of chit, some sort of paper that they have written, and then they just put inside my passport, and they not even hand over the passport to me. And that person who's sitting in the counter gave the passport to someone else, like a police officer, right? And then he said, just follow him. And I'm like, I'm done. It's over. I'm not seeing this place. I don't know if I will get out of this place, right? So took my bag, and I don't know where my luggage bag was at that point in time because I did have luggage with me. This took a long time, guys. I'll tell you the exact story, right? So this guy's, I mean, the cop actually asked me to follow him. I just, went, kind of following him. So it was complete. So you guys know, right? These people sit in a straight line, right? So they kind of took me from that place and then went back. And there was a mini gate where they had to, use your ID card or something and to, authorize themselves, and took me to another room. And I'm like, the pathway to the room, I felt like I'm gonna get kidnapped or something because no way I felt like that was an airport. It was more like a jail, literally like a jail, like a small pathway where you go, and then you see a lot of people sitting on the right hand side, and that kind of gave me a hospital vibes. And then there's a lot of chairs arranged, and they asked me to kind of sit there, right? And I'm like, why am I here? Is it because I'm an Indian? Because you never know, right? I don't even get a proper clarity on why am I even withheld there, right? And then I just went back. I went to the seating area. They asked me to sit, and then I forgot this, right? So before that, when I was in the main immigration, they asked me like, "Are you traveling alone?" I said yes. So why are you traveling alone? I'm like, I'm a backpacker, and I think we all love. I love traveling, so I travel, right? So that's one question I think you all need to remember before the next statement that I've heard from the inside, detention area. Let's call it that way, right? So yeah, coming back to the place that I'm sitting, so there's a lot of people there, and most of them could understand English. It's not like they not understand English. And I'm that point in time, I was just looking at if there are any Indians or some. When I say Indians, like number, right? Like if there's a call center number or something that you can call your embassy or your, immigration, like back in India, right? I don't know. I was just curious to see that. And I sat there. So there was this lady sitting in the counter with a laptop, and she starts feeding all my data, and I'm like, what's happening? Like, you did not even tell me the reason why I'm, withheld here. Like, no questions asked. Just because of a passport, you just took me, and I'm like, give me some more, right? At least I know why am I here. And then I see people just walking around, going back, and I see new set of bunch of people coming in, right? Like I did see Africans there, like they came, and then I saw a couple of I don't know if it is like Asian, like they kind of look like Indonesians. I'm really not sure, like a little bit of that touch, not like your Chinese or South Koreans or anyone like that. And I did see a Chinese as well there behind me, right? And I did see a couple of Indians as well. But yeah, coming to my story, so I am sitting there. They're kind of feeding the data in, and I'm just waiting there, and the whole thing took like more than like half an hour to 45 minutes, guys. The overall process, right? So, first the lady came, and then she's like, "Where are you going?" I'm like, "I'm I'm here to explore Hong Kong." Then the next thing is, "Where you staying?" I said, "I'm staying in so and so place." Um, and then the next question is like, why are you traveling? Same question, right? From the previous man, right? And I said, I'm a backpacker. I love traveling and all that stuff. And then she asked me to show my YouTube channel. I said, I also have a YouTube channel. I kind of love documenting and all this with the assertiveness, right? No defensive talking, all polite. Me speaking polite and having that kind of, conversation with that person, not to be defensive, right? I understand that, right? Because it's their right to ask. I'm okay to share what I want to share rights. But the only thing is the way I was treated, I felt like I did some crime, and that kept going behind my head, and I'm like, this is something wrong, that I don't know, me without even doing something, like why am I being in a situation like that, right? I'm being interrogated, that's the right word, right? And then I'm seated there, so this question is over, and then she went back, and then she started feeding the data again. And then I see another gentleman coming next to me, and he's like, do you know the places where you are traveling? I said, yes, I do know. Sometimes I say, I have no plans, and I just explore, because if I meet new people, their plan is my plan. That's how I usually do. And but I still knew places. I know where I'm going. I know where I'm staying. Everything was fully paid and fully booked. My power was perfect. Uh, and I did have a lot of travel experience, which made no sense to them. And then the currency, I had a couple of dollars, I had their currency as well, Hong Kong dollars as well. But no, and they asked me like, how much do you carry? And I said the exact value. And how much do you have it on you? I said again the same thing. I said I have a couple of rest of the dollars in my other luggage bag, which I can't take it because I'm held here. And then they're like, how much is it that, I mean, how much do you have there? So I said that exact amount, and then I've been sitting there for like another 10 minutes of no one coming and asking me what to do. And at that point in time, I was so sick. At that point in time, I was like, I want to drink water, but I can't even drink water. There's no water around me. And right, after a long layover flight, you're just done, and then you immediately want to get out and then drink or have a munch, right? So I'm just sitting there, nothing, no questions asked. Oh, do you want a water or at least a snack, right? Because I do see a lot of people sitting behind from a long time. Because myself, when I was there, it took like more than 45 minutes, I guess. But I can imagine the number of hours maybe they have been sitting behind, right, with no drinks or anything. So yeah, this is my case. I was not offered anything. I don't know about them, but yeah, this continues, right? And then they came back again and asked me like, every time they go, they come back and feed some data, and then come back and ask me some another question, couple of more questions. So I said, the next question, it was like, where are the places that you're traveling within Hong Kong? So with my broken Mandarin or Chinese, what are the name that is, I had to say like Square and all that. And I said some metro areas and the place where I'm staying and all that, right? And you don't know exactly the location, right? And you just hear and you learn from people, or you watch videos, and that's how you get your knowledge, right? So with that broken knowledge, I kind of communicated, and I said, this is the place where I'm staying, the places where I'm going to explore and all that question. I mean, for those questions I have answered. The immediate next thing is, I go to Macau. I'm like, I'm not gonna go to Macau. Maybe if I want, I can go, because it's again like, as long as you have your power, you can still travel. And then you come, when you have to come back again, you need to refill and all that stuff, right? So again, it's not like illegal for you to go. But I said, no, I'm not going. I'm just giving this for your reference, that you still can go to Macau. There's no harm in that. Uh, the next question is, are you going to mainland China? So I said, no, I'm not going to mainland China. My purpose is only Hong Kong. And after this, I'm going to fly back to Bangkok, where you can already, I mean, you have already seen the tickets. So by the way, I've showed my tickets, my return tickets. I even showed my Singapore, visa. I don't know why did I show my Singapore visa. Like, and they did make a note of it, guys. Like, they did write down everything. And I'm like, this is literally being interrogated for no reason. If they gave me a proper explanation why I'm treated like this, I'm okay. And this kind of reminded me of the scene from My Name Is Khan, like what happened to Shah Rukh Khan. I mean, even in real life, right? So just being an Indian, just being the way how I look, I don't know, treated like this, I don't think it's fair. Not for just for me, for anyone out there, right? So it is what it is. I think this is what's happening around the globe. And as soon as I saw, what I've experienced, I just wanted to come and share with you. Coming back to the story again. So the next question is like, where are you working? And I said, I'm working in a so and so company. And then the next question is like, I mean, I already spoke about my YouTube. So they're like, okay, open your YouTube channel and show. So I had to somehow connect to the Wi-Fi, and then I showed. I don't know how did I even get the Wi-Fi there, because I told you it did look like a dungeon, right? And then with people seated next to each other, like so close. It was a small room, by the way, and I still remember that right scene. And I opened, I showed this is my YouTube channel and all that stuff. And then the next question is like, do you have an ID card from your company? I'm like, guys, are you serious? I don't have it on me, because who carry that with you, like whenever you travel? And then I had to like check from my gallery, and then I had to show, like, luckily I had uh you know the ID card. And the next thing is like, what are your previous company? And I said, this is where I uh you know this is where I've worked for so and so years, and then moved and moved and moved. And they're like, okay. Every time I say something, they note down, and I'm like, okay, it's your thing. And I have asked a couple of times, like, why am I here, and what's this all about? Nope, I did not get any response. And then immediately they go back again, and then uh, they're like, do you plan to stay here for a longer time? I said, no, I have already given you my return tickets, and everything is booked. And they asked me my stay booking in Thailand, and I'm like, oh gosh, okay, there you go. I gave all that details again. I've literally shown all the visa that I have, apart from even Singapore, which I felt like I don't think I need to be showing, but then I had to show, right? Just to be on a safer side. And then I just kept asking them, why am I here? No questions asked. And some of them are smiling, some of them are giggling. You don't understand the language. And I'm like, okay. And then I was just sitting there trying to get some water, right? It is not there. And I've been checking, it was not there at that point in time. I don't know what happened. And then I'm panicking and I'm freaking out at that point in time, because this is the first time that I'm facing that. Like, this is a this is literally like, you either be in the country, or they're going to throw you out, or they're going to deport you forever, right? And me as a traveler, you can already imagine the kind of questions that you have in your mind. Am I, can you travel anymore? All those kind of things, right? How is your passport going to look and all that stuff, right? So, oh gosh. And after some point, the lady did something to my passport. I don't know what. Like, she actually kept some sort of paper and did, and I thought they actually did it on my passport, but no, luckily not. And I thought, okay, it's a deported, kind of, whatever the seal they are putting. And then they come back and they give me a piece of slip, I mean, a slip of paper saying, this is your entry, and there you go. And I'm like, what just happened? Like, why am I being interrogated for no reason? Why am I here for no, seated here so long for no reason, right? And I'm just blinking, guys. Like, literally, you see people coming in, like, with next bunch of people coming in and out, and people are going, and they were really polite. Trust me, they were really polite. Some of them were, smiling and all from the one side. That's fine. Like, I don't care. I don't know what they're smiling about. Maybe they're, inside jokes. So with me, they were really polite. I think that's something which I really need to say. Thanks to the team, whoever the officers they were. But then I feel like it's with some other people too also. Maybe because I speak, the language, I mean, English, and the way how they expected me to answer, I kind of answered the way. But I really felt like it's really not, uh, you know, it's really not good, guys. Because the other people, right? The whites. What about other races? No questions asked. I think that's where the main thing is coming, right? Why us? Why do they do this when they see a black passport? Indians, right? So I don't know. This is how it is. I don't know it's gonna change anytime soon, but this is all I've seen, I've observed, and it's been a very a tough journey for me to enter Hong Kong, and I loved Hong Kong, guys. Like, you'd really need to visit Hong Kong. It's a really amazing place. You will feel great out there, right? And the story doesn't stop there. I had to exit Hong Kong, right? That's the main thing. Another second round of things, right? When I was leaving Hong Kong, I gave my Indian passport. The lady seated there just look at me. I mean, she was looking at me. She was turning the pages. She was looking at me and turning the pages. I'm like, want to see my picture? Go to the first page. You'll see my picture. But she just, it was a little aggressive. Like, I don't know why. And then it's really horrible. And then she looked at me and then she asked me, like, where you're going and all that stuff. And just because it is an Indian passport, guys, trust me, it's not about the face, it's not about the way how you look. I did tell this in multiple videos. Yes, your looks matter, the way how you dress up matters. When I say looks, not the way how you look, but the way how you present yourself, guys. Don't take me wrong. But then this did not help me at all, right? And then she asked me again, like some of the similar questions. But luckily, I was not taken to a different room. But it still took like 3 4 minutes, and then finally she's like, "Okay, boom, there you go." By the way, there's no stamp. It's just you get a piece of paper. With that you just survive Hong Kong, right? And one more thing I forgot to mention is that if you are traveling solo, the question will be like, why are you not going with your family? Why don't you have your friends with you? But if you're going with them, they'll ask you some other questions like, why are you with your family? Why did they not come? Why did maybe your kids, why did they not come? Like, why did your friends not come? So you can expect a lot of questions. I feel like the way we are being treated, it's not good. So yeah, and so there's my another friend who's actually a Indian, but who's not having an Indian passport. It was smooth for that person, right? So yeah, there you go. That shows the value of where we sit, where we are currently when it comes to living terms, right, guys? Showing that your passport is good and flexing with everyone with your Indian passport and going to Thailand is not the biggest flex you can have. Travel countries outside Thailand, and then you will get to know how difficult um, is as an Indian to travel, right? So, no hate, but yeah, it is what it is. The reality is this, and I see a lot of people coming out and kind of sharing their experience with not just China, Hong Kong, even Jeju Island. I see a lot of videos out there. I actually plan to go there as well, but I know this is what's going to happen again. So, yeah, fingers crossed. And I hope this kind of helped you out. I just wanted to share my experience. And if you guys are going through this or went through this, just don't panic. The worst they can do is throw you back to your country. That's it, right? But yeah, I think the government or someone should actually kind of take some action. And I don't know if it can be helpful as well, right? I think the ranking and all is just numbers, guys. You will experience this once you're there. So yeah, with that said, thank you so much for watching my vlog, and I really appreciate you all staying by, and safe travels, guys. Until we meet next time, see you. Cheers. Bye bye.